Hi, this is Ishrita Datta, a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and today I will be talking about the case study of Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Company.
Synopsis. This case looks at whether, as a promoting contrivance, for example, the guarantee to pay €100 to anybody contracting flu while utilizing the carbolic smoke ball can be viewed as an express legally binding guarantee to pay. So, what were the issues? Lindley LJ, in the interest of the Court of Appeals, takes note of the primary issue close by is whether the language in defendant's commercial with respect to the €100 price was intended to be an express guarantee or rather a business power which had no significance at all. So what were the facts? In this famous case, the defendant Carbolic Smoke Company made a product called a smoke ball which they claimed to cure influenza and some other diseases. The company advertises its product in some newspaper on November 13, 1891, claiming that they would pay €100 to anyone who, after using their products according to the printed directions supplied by each ball, gets sick with influenza or any disease caused by taking the cold. They even deposited €1,000 with the Alliance Bank, Regent Street, showing their sincerity in their matter. The plaintiff Louisa Carlyle trusted in the exactness of the announcement made in the notice concerning the adequacy of the smoke ball in instances of flu and bought one packet and utilized as instructed. However, after certain days she had an assault of flu. Therefore, her husband wrote a letter on her behalf to the Carbolic Smoke Company asking for €100, which was promised in the newspaper. The lawyer representing Louisa Carlyle argued that the reliance of Louisa and the advertisement, so it was a contract between the company and the company ought to pay her. The lawyer representing the company argued that there was no serious contract between the parties. So now I would be talking about cases in the argument. So Smith versus Hughes, 1871, Brogden versus Metropolitan Railway Corporation. So what happened? In the respondent's argument was that on request, the litigant's case was that there was no coupling agreement between the gatherings and the respondent company had no methods for checking the ball or of building up whether the offended party had in reality utilized the ball as coordinated. So they additionally said that the offended party had not provided any consideration and that just doing a demonstration in private, for example, adhering to guidelines, would not be sufficient enough. So they contended in the other option that if the court saw that there is an agreement, that agreement was close to a wagering agreement in which obligation was simply decided on one issue, regardless of whether the offended party got flu or not, in which case it would be void, or that on the off chance that it was a protection strategy, that it was awful in the light of the fact that it depended on whether there would be an event of a dubious occasion. So, however, the court did not consider that wager or insurance arguments and which were valid. So, what was the judgment? So, the court rejected the defendant's appeal and ordered them to pay €100 to Louisa Carlyle. The three judges gave the following reasons. First is that the advertisement in the newspaper was a unilateral offer to the entire world, and so anyone could accept that offer. Second was that the use of smoke ball as instructed constituted acceptance of the offer. Third is that buying or only utilizing the smoke ball compromised good consideration since it was a particular disservice brought about at the command of the organization, and besides, more individuals purchasing smoke balls by depending on the advert was a reasonable advantage to the public. Fourth is that the company showed a reasonable intention to be legally binding by depositing €1,000 in the bank. So the judgments of the court were as follows. So Lord Justice Lindley, he excused the appeal, he giving his decision first and reasons later, disclosed his judgment, offering an explanation to all the charges set up by the respondent's guidance and maintaining the lower court's choice. So a portion which makes a quick work of the protection and betting agreement that was managed in the Queen's Bench. Be that as it may, there is likewise another view to this point, which Judge Lindley suitably attests. Shouldn't something be said about the individual who puts himself or herself in an inconvenient, if not adverse to his well-being, while at the same time breathing in powerful vapor of carbolic gas? So consequently, there is sufficient thought to this guarantee. So Lord Justice Bowen said he agreed with Lindley. LJ, he was of familiar conclusion. However, he additionally talked about the scarcely any focuses as for unclearness and the time span of the agreement. His opinion was more tightly structured in style and frequently cited. He excusing defense's counsel guarantee dependent on his development of the report, and he said that there is no time limit fixed for getting flu and it can't truly be intended to vow to pay cash to an individual who gets flu whenever after the breathing in of the smoke ball. Lord Justice Al Smith. His judgment was broad and agreed with both Linley LJ and Bowen LJ's choices. According to him, there were two considerations there. So one is that the consideration of the inconvenience of having to use this carbolic smoke ball for 2 weeks, 3 times a day, and another more important consideration is that the money gain likely to accrue to the defendants by the enhanced sale of the smoke balls because of the plaintiff's use of them. So there is an ample consideration to support this promise. So what is the significance of this case? The Carlyle case played a huge role in building up the law of unilateral offers and established the framework for the Advanced Act of banning, misdirecting or promoting. Carlyle is referred to as the main case in the precedent-based law of agreement, especially where unilateral contracts are concerned. This is maybe because of the technique of counsel for the defendant is in running pretty much every accessible safeguard, requiring the court to manage these focuses. Thus, in the judgment. Thank you so much. So, the impacts of the judgment, despite everything, still is felt today. It gives a superb study of the essential standards of agreement, how they identify with regular day-to-day existence, and the case stays a great law. It, despite everything, ties the lower courts of England and Wales and is referred to by decided with endorsement. Nonetheless, notwithstanding the authoritative cures stood to clients, similar realities would offer assent to some of extra legal cures and disciplines were a person to put an advert in similar terms today. Thank you so much.